big is happening in West Africa. 3 countries have turned their backs on ECOWAS: Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. These countries are not small in this story. They sit in the heart of the Sahel, a dry and tough part of Africa, a place of desert roads, a place of old routes, a place of proud people, a place of gold, uranium, cattle, farms, and strong culture. But today, this same place is also full of fear, attacks, poverty, military coups, foreign soldiers, angry youths, broken promises, and now a big split. For many years, ECOWAS was seen as the big house of West Africa, a house where countries could meet, trade, talk, and solve problems. But Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are now saying, we do not want this house anymore. They say ECOWAS has failed them. They say ECOWAS listens more to foreign powers than to African people. They say ECOWAS punishes poor citizens but protects old politics. They say the old way is over, so they form their own group, the Alliance of Sahel States. A new camp, a new voice, a new challenge. But the question is this: are these military leaders truly fighting for African freedom, or are they only using anger to hold power? Are they saving their countries, or are they building a new kind of control? Are they rejecting old African politics, or are they becoming another version of it? This is a story of ECOWAS versus the Sahel military leaders. A story of power, a story of anger, a story of fear, a story of pride, a story of Africa asking itself one hard question: who really speaks for the people? To understand this story, we must first understand ECOWAS. ECOWAS means Economic Community of West African States. It was created in 1975. The dream was simple. West African countries wanted to work together. They wanted easier trade. They wanted peace. They wanted free movement. They wanted people to travel, work, and trade across borders. They wanted one region that could grow together. For many years, ECOWAS helped people move. A trader from Nigeria could go to Ghana. A student from Niger could study in Benin. A worker from Burkina Faso could travel to Ivory Coast. A family could cross borders more easily. This was one of the good sides of ECOWAS. It made West Africa feel like one big neighborhood. But ECOWAS was not only about trade. Over time, it also became a political force. It started speaking against coups. It started suspending countries after military takeovers. It started giving warnings. It started using sanctions. It wanted to protect democracy. On paper, this sounds good. No country should be ruled by guns forever. People should choose leaders by voting. Soldiers should protect the country and not take power from civilians. This is the idea. But in real life, things became more difficult because many people in West Africa started asking, what kind of democracy is ECOWAS protecting? Is it democracy that helps the poor, or democracy that only gives power to the same old leaders? Is ECOWAS protecting the people or protecting presidents? That question is now shaking the region because in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, many citizens no longer see ECOWAS as a helper. They see it as part of the old system, a system that talks about democracy but does not stop hunger, a system that talks about elections but does not stop insecurity, a system that talks about rules but does not stop bad leadership. This is where the anger begins. The Sahel is not just a place on the top. It is a place where people are fighting for life every single day. For many years, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have faced serious attacks. Many villages have been attacked. Many families have run away from home. Many schools have closed. Many farms have been abandoned. Many people have died. Many children have grown up with fear. In some places, people do not know who controls the road. The government, the army, armed groups, bandits, terror groups, no one knows. This is a pain that many outsiders do not understand. When people in big cities talk about democracy, many people in the Sahel are asking for one single thing: safety. They want to sleep, they want to farm, they want to go to the market, they want children to go to school, they want the roads to be safe, they want to live. When elected government failed to stop the attacks, many people became angry. They watched presidents give speeches, they watched foreign soldiers come and go, they watched ECOWAS hold meetings, they watched leaders promise peace, but the violence continued. People became tired. When people are tired, they can welcome anything that looks like strength, even soldiers. That is why some people celebrated coups, not because they love military rules, but because they were tired of leaders who could not protect them. They said, at least the soldiers may do something, at least these ones may fight, at least they understand the pain. This is how military leaders gain support. They did not rise in empty space. They rose from fear, they rose from anger, they rose from disappointment, they rose because the old system failed too many people. The story did not start in one day. It came step by step. In Mali, soldiers took power after anger grew over insecurity and poor leadership. Then there was another power shift inside the military. In Burkina Faso, soldiers also took over after the country suffered more attacks and fear. In Niger, soldiers removed the elected president in 2023. One by one, the Sahel changed. Men in uniform were now in charge. Assimi Goita in Mali, Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso, Abdourahamane Tiani in Niger. These leaders spoke strong words. They said they would defend their countries. They said they would fight terror. They said they would end foreign control. They said they would protect the people. They said Africa must stand on its own feet. Many young Africans listened, not only in Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso. Across Africa, many people started watching. Some called them brave, some called them revolutionaries, some called them the new Sankaras. One said they were finally standing up to France and the old foreign power, but others were worried. They said, these are military rulers. They came by force. They removed elected leaders. They may not give power back. They may silence critics. They may use strong words while holding the people down. So the religion became divided. Some saw heroes, some saw danger, some saw hope, some saw another trap, and ECOWAS had to respond. After the coup, ECOWAS reacted strongly. It suspended the countries, it gave warnings, it demanded a return to civilian rule, it used sanctions. In Niger, the response was very hard. After the coup in 2023, ECOWAS demanded that the elected presidents be restored. There was even talk of military force. Sanctions followed. Borders were closed. Trade was affected. Banks were affected. Power supply was affected. Ordinary people felt the pain. And this is where ECOWAS lost many hearts. Because sanctions do not only hit leaders, sanctions hit market women, sanctions hit small traders, sanctions hit drivers, sanctions hit students, sanctions hit the children, sanctions hit the poor first. A leader may still eat, a general may still have fuel, a minister may still have comfort, but the poor man feels the pain fast. Food becomes expensive, goods stop moving, families suffer, businesses lose money, people become angry, and when people suffer, they ask, is ECOWAS punishing the soldiers or punishing us? This question became very powerful. The military leaders used this anger and they said, look at ECOWAS. They do not care about you. They said, ECOWAS is being used by foreign powers. They said, ECOWAS is attacking our freedom. They said, we will not bow. And many people believe them, because when someone is hungry, big political drama does not matter. What matters is food. What matters is survival. What matters is dignity. The sanctions were meant to pressure military leaders on to help these leaders look stronger in the eyes of some of these citizens. This is one of the biggest mistakes in politics. When you punish a whole population, the people may turn against you, not against their rulers. To understand why Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are rejecting old politics, we must talk about France. For many years, France had strong influence in its African colonies: military influence, economic influence, language influence, currency influence, political influence. Many people in these countries believe that independence was never complete. They believe France left the front door but stayed through the back door. They believe African leaders were often too close to Paris and too far from their own people. They believe their resources were helping others more than it was helping them. In Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, this feeling became very strong. Many citizens asked, if France has been helping us for years, why is insecurity still growing? If foreign soldiers are here, why are villages still being attacked? If our land has resources, why are our people still poor? If we are independent, why do foreign powers still have so much say? This question feed anger. Protests grew. French flags were burned. People demanded the exit of French troops. The military leaders used this moment well. They presented themselves as defenders of national pride. And they said, we are taking back our country. We are choosing our own friends. We are ending foreign control. This message touched many people because Africa has a deep wound from colonialism. Many Africans still feel the world treats Africa like a child, a place of control, a place of mind, a place to lecture, a place to use. So when the Sahel military leaders speak against foreign control, many young Africans listen. The message is powerful. But again, there is a hard question. Is removing France enough? If one foreign power leaves and another foreign power enters, is that true freedom? If the flag changes and the people still suffer, what has changed? This is why the France question is not simple. Yes, many people want real freedom, but real freedom is not only about chasing one country away. Real freedom means citizens have food, citizens have safety, citizens have job, citizens have voice, citizens have rights. Citizens can criticize leaders without fear. If people cannot speak, then that is not freedom, even if the speech is anti-France. As France lost influence in parts of the Sahel, Russia gained space. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso started moving closer to Russia. They also looked for new friends. They wanted partners who would not ask too many questions about elections. They wanted weapons. They wanted training. They wanted security support. They wanted political support. For the military leaders, this was useful. They could say, we are not alone. We have new partners. We are choosing our own paths. Many citizens saw Russia as an alternative to France. Some said, France failed, let us try someone else. But there is another side. Foreign powers do not come only for love. Every big country has interests. France has interests. Russia has interests. America has interests. China has interests. Turkey has interests. Everyone has interests. But the real question is, are African countries using these powers wisely, or are these powers using African countries again? If Russia gives weapons, what does Russia get back? If another country gives support, what does it want? If foreign soldiers help fight, who controls the future? These questions matters because Africa has seen this movie before. A foreign power comes and said, we are your friend. Then later, the friendship becomes another chain. So the Sahel leaders may be rejecting old politics, but they must be careful not to enter a new kind of dependence. True freedom is not moving from one master to another. True freedom is standing on your own feet. After tension with ECOWAS grew, Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso moved closer to each other. They formed the Alliance of Sahel States. This alliance is also called AES. At first, it was about security. The three countries said an attack on one will be treated like an attack on all. This was a strong message to ECOWAS and the world. It meant if you attack Niger, you may face Mali and Burkina Faso too. Later, the alliance became bigger. They started talking about deeper union. They wanted their own path, their own passport, their own security plan, their own voice, their own future. To their supporters, this looked like African courage. Three poor but proud countries standing together. Three countries saying no to pressure. Three countries saying they would not be controlled. Three countries saying they are tired of old rules. But to critics, it looks dangerous. Three military governments joining hands. Three countries living a bigger regional family. Three countries moving away from democratic pressure. Three countries becoming more close. This is the battle of meaning. One side says this is freedom. Another side says this is isolation. One side says this is Pan-Africanism. Another side says this is military survival. One side says this is a future. Another side says this is a dangerous road. The truth may not be simple. It may not be all the things at once. It may be a cry for freedom and also a tool for power. It may be needed for protest and also a risky experiment. That is why the world is watching. So why are these countries rejecting old African politics? Because many people are tired. Tired of leaders who win elections but do not change lives. Tired of presidents who stay too long. Tired of leaders who obey foreign powers but ignore their citizens. Tired of corruption. Tired of speeches. Tired of submits. Tired of promises. Tired of watching resources leave Africa while poverty stays. In many African countries, people do not only want elections, they want results. They want roads. They want jobs. They want schools. They want security. They want leaders who feel their pain. This is the weakness of old African politics. It often gives people voting days, but not better days. It gives campaign songs, but not clean water. It gives party flags, but not safety. It gives leaders in suits, but not leaders who serve. So when military leaders came and speak simple, strong words, they say, we will fight corruption, we will fight terrorists, we will remove foreign control, we will return dignity, we will protect the people. These words are powerful because they touch real pain, because strong words are not enough. A soldier can speak against old politics and still act like old politics. A leader can shout freedom and still silence the people. A government can reject France and still fail its own citizens. A military ruler can wear simple clothes and still become a dictator. So the real test is not the speech. The real test is the life of the people. Are people safer? Are schools open? Are hospitals better? Are jobs growing? Can journalists speak? Can citizens ask questions? Can people protest without fear? Will power return to civilians? These are the real questions, because rejecting old politics is not enough. You must build something better. ECOWAS says it wants democracy. Many leaders say they want security and sovereignty. But what do the people want? The people want all three. They want democracy, they want security, they want sovereignty. They do not want to choose between bread and freedom. They don't want to choose between safety and voting. They don't want to choose between national pride and human rights. A good country should give people all. A citizen should be able to vote and be safe. A good country should be free from foreign control and still respect its own people. A leader should fight terrorists and still allow citizens to speak. This is where military rule becomes dangerous, because soldiers are trained to command. Democracy needs listening. Soldiers are trained to give orders. Democracy needs debate. debate. Soldiers are trained for war. Civilian life needs patience. This does not mean every soldier is bad. No, many soldiers are brave. Many soldiers have died protecting their countries. But running a country is not the same as fighting a battle. A nation is not a barracks. Citizens are not soldiers. A citizen should not be treated like someone who must obey without question. This is why many people fear long military rule. They ask, when will election return? When will civilians lead again? When will opposition be free? When will the press be free? When will people choose? Because no matter how popular a military leader is today, power must still answer to the people. If a leader truly loves the people, he should not fear the people's voice. When leaders fight, ordinary people pay. When ECOWAS and the Sahel leaders clash, the poor people feel it. Borders close, prices rise, trade suffers, students worry, families are split, truck drivers are stuck, businesses lose money, regional travel becomes harder. People who used to move freely now ask questions. Will my passport work? Can I trade? Can I cross? Can I study? Can I work? Will my goods be allowed? This is why political fights are never only for politicians. They enter markets, they enter the kitchen, they enter the school, they enter the family, they enter the price of food, they enter the life of the poor. A woman selling tomatoes does not care about big political speeches if her goods cannot cross the border. A student does not care about big meetings if his scholarship is now in danger. A driver does not care about diplomatic language if his truck is stuck for days. A child does not care about ideology if there is no food at home. This is why both sides must be careful. ECOWAS must remember that sanctions can hurt innocent people. The Sahel military leaders must remember that pride alone does not feed citizens. Both sides can claim to fight for the people, but the people are the ones carrying the pain. If this fight becomes too long, the region will suffer more because West Africa needs cooperation. Terror groups do not respect borders. Hunger does not respect borders. Climate change does not respect borders. Poverty does not respect borders. Trade does not go well when borders are full of fear. So even if Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso leaves ECOWAS, they cannot leave geography. They are still neighbors. They still need the region and the region still needs them. ECOWAS must also look in the same mirror. Why did many people in these countries stop trusting ECOWAS? Why did many young Africans see ECOWAS as weak? Why did some people cheer when the Sahel states left? Why do some citizens believe ECOWAS protects presidents more than people? These are hard questions. ECOWAS can not only answer by saying, we support democracy. The people want to know, where was ECOWAS when leaders were fading? Where was ECOWAS when corruption was destroying countries? Where was ECOWAS when young people were hungry? Where was ECOWAS when insecurity was spreading? Where was ECOWAS when leaders changed rules to stay in power? Where was ECOWAS when democracy became only election day? If ECOWAS wants respect, it must become more than a club of presidents. It must become a voice for the people. It must defend democracy, yes, but not only the kind of democracy that protects leaders. It must defend good governance. It must defend justice. It must defend citizens. It must defend term limits. It must defend human rights. It must defend development. It must listen to the anger of the young, because across Africa, a new generation is watching. They are not easily fooled by speeches. They want results. They want dignity. They want leaders to answer questions. They want African groups that serve African people. If ECOWAS does not change, many people may reject it, not because they hate regional unity, but because they want a better kind of unity. Now, we must also ask the hard question on the other side. Are the Sahel military leaders really different? They speak against foreign control. They speak against bad leadership. They speak about pride. They speak about dignity. They speak about Africa rising. But words are not enough. The people must eat. Are they making life safer? Are they reducing poverty? Are they creating jobs? Are they fighting corruption? Are they allowing free speech? Are they giving people a clear path back to civilian rule? Are they building strong institutions, or are they only raising old leaders with new strong men? This question matters because history has won Africa many times. Many military leaders came with big promises. They said they came to serve the nation. They said they came to fight corruption. They said they came for a short time, but many stayed for too long. So became the same thing they claimed to fight. Some even became worse. This is why citizens must not give any leader blind trust. Not elected leaders, not military leaders, not foreign-backed leaders, not anti-foreign leaders. Every leader must be questioned. Every leader must be watched. Every leader must be judged by results, because power can change people. A man can enter power as a hero and become a ruler people fear. That is why freedom needs more than just brave speeches. Freedom needs system, courts, free press, open debates, fair elections, strong laws, citizens' power. Without these things, even the most popular leader can become dangerous. One reason this story is so powerful is the youth. Many young Africans are tired of old politics. They look at their countries and see the same problems: no jobs, high prices, bad roads, weak schools, poor hospitals, leaders who are too old to understand their pain, politicians who come every election season with promises and advice. So when they see young military leaders speaking with fire, they feel something. They feel seen. They feel heard. They feel that someone is finally saying what they have been thinking. This is why people like Ibrahim Traore became popular far beyond Burkina Faso. Many young Africans saw him as a symbol of courage, a symbol of resistance, a symbol of a new Africa. But symbols can be dangerous if people stop asking questions. A symbol can inspire, but a symbol cannot replace good governance. A uniform can look strong, but strength must show in the life of the people. A speech can go viral, but viral speech does not build hospitals. A leader can speak against the West, but if his people cannot eat, something is still very wrong. Young Africans must be careful. It is good to desire freedom. It is good to reject foreign control. It is good to demand respect for Africa, but never worship power. Never give any leader a blank check, because the future of Africa should not depend on one man. It should depend on strong people, strong systems, and strong truth. What happens next between ECOWAS and the Sahel states? No one knows for sure. Maybe the next split will go deeper. Maybe the Alliance of Sahel States will become stronger. Maybe to create new rules, new passports, and new trade systems. Maybe more countries will feel inspired by them. Maybe ECOWAS will reform and become stronger. Maybe both sides will find a way to work together, because whether they like it or not, they still need each other. Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso need West Africa. They need trade, they need ports, they need neighbors, they need regional security, they need food routes, they need markets. ECOWAS also needs them. It cannot claim to be the strong house of West Africa while the Sahel is outside the house. The fight against terror needs cooperation. The fight against poverty needs cooperation. The movement of people needs cooperation. The future of West Africa needs cooperation. So the best future may not be total suppression. The best future may be honest reform. ECOWAS must change. The Sahel leaders must also open up. Both sides must put the people first. Not pride, not ego, not foreign interest, not political survival, but the people. Because if leaders fight and citizens suffer, nobody has won. If ECOWAS wins but the people suffer, that is not victory. If the military leaders win but citizens lose freedom, that is not victory. If foreign powers gain more control while Africans fight each other, that is not victory. True victory is when people are safe, when children go to school, when farmers return to farms, when traders cross borders freely, when leaders answer to citizens, when countries are free from fear. That is the victory Africa needs. The clash between ECOWAS and the Sahel military leaders is bigger than just politics. It is a sign that many Africans are tired of the old way, tired of leaders who talk but do not serve, tired of foreign powers that act like Africa still belongs to them, tired of regional bodies that feel far from ordinary people, tired of democracy that does not deliver food, jobs, safety, and dignity. But it is also a warning, because anger can open the door to change, but anger can also open the door to new oppression. Many leaders may speak hard questions tomorrow. ECOWAS may speak about democracy, but it must prove that democracy is not only for presidents. It must prove that democracy is for the people. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are rejecting old African politics because they believe the old system failed them. But now they must show what they are building, not just what they are rejecting, because it is easy to say no and it is harder to build. It is easy to blame France. It is harder to create jobs. It is easy to leave ECOWAS. It is harder to make citizens safe. It is easy to speak of freedom. It is harder to allow people to speak freely. It is easy to wear clothes of revolution. It is harder to serve the poor every day. This is the real test, not the speeches, not the flags, not the crowds, not the slogan. The real test is the life of the people. Are they safer? Are they freer? Are they eating better? Are their children learning? Are their hospitals working? Are their leaders listening? That is how history will judge this moment, not by who shouted the loudest, not by who served the people the best. So as ECOWAS and the Sahel military leaders face each other, Africa must ask, do we want the old politics of empty democracy or the new danger of military power without checks? Or can Africa build something better? A politics that is free, a politics that is fair, a politics that is African, a politics that protects the poor, a politics that listens to the young, a politics where leaders do not rule over the people but serve the people. That is the dream, that is the question, and that is why this fight matters. Because Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are not only rejecting ECOWAS, they are forcing West Africa to look in the mirror, and the mirror is showing something painful. The old way is broken, but the new way must not become another cage. If this documentary touched you, share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are right to reject ECOWAS? Are their military leaders fighting for true African freedom, or is this another dangerous road? Comment below. Subscribe to Afri Arise for more African stories, hidden truth, and powerful documentaries, because Africa's story must be told by Africans. My name is Blessing Chris. See you in the next one.